going to the rim, and like AB was sailing really well. Like offensively, we were able to get whatever we wanted all night, it felt like.
But Cowan, who couldn't finish, behind the back again for Clark, give her another assist in transition.
Have you ever witnessed a rookie set a record only to have their team lose the match despite the record breaking? Clark, a rookie point guard, dished a mind-blowing 19 assists, making it look effortless. Her passes danced through the Wings' defense. The crazy part, the Fever still fell short. Let's go real, guys, and talk about what Caitlin did in this game. She made it clear right away that she was on fire. Clark executed an incredible move that had everyone in shock from the very first play. She started by giving out miraculous passes, among them one to Aliyah Boston, but she didn't stop there. Every play Clark did demonstrated her uniqueness.
Quarter, they went ahead. It was such a back and forth contest. That is what you truly call a fun all-around basketball game.
She looked to have eyes in the back of her head because of how exact her passes were. Nobody else saw angles the way she did. Do you recall those times when you thought there was no way she could pass the ball from this position? Yes, Clark succeeded. Furthermore, her game sense was equally as important as her talent. Before they arrived, she was certain of every teammate's location. Clark had already amassed 14 points, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds at the end of the first half. I was expecting her to eclipse her 13 assist record, but 19? I had never imagined that, not even in my wildest dreams.
19 assists. That set the WNBA record for most assists in a game. She played all 40 minutes in this one, however.
In addition to her record-breaking 19 assists, she finished with 24 points. Yes, with a 52.6% field goal percentage, 24 points, and the story doesn't end there. She pulled down 6 rebounds as well. Clark completed all of this in 40 minutes of play, which means he didn't take a break during the game. The way she changed during the game is what's most amazing. Clark started taking more solo plays after realizing that certain teammates weren't making the most of her passes, as demonstrated in the play by Hull that I just described.
There probably could have been a few times where instead of passing that leads to turnover that I may have, I can probably shoot the ball, but...
She made 10 of her 19 field goals. However, I was most impressed by how she improved in the second half. Do you recall the 8 assists I gave out in the first half? She did, however, score 11 more in the second half.
Caitlin Clark's efforts on the night, 19 assists. That's the most in WNBA history.
I mean, I just think I do, like, I just try to set my teammates up for success. I think at times, like, I can almost overpass, and...
She seemed to enter the state of a basketball goddess. Furthermore, these passes weren't easy ones. There was one particularly crazy pass that was made to Nalissa Smith. After receiving the ball, Clark faked a shot, crossed the court, and when the defense fell for it, she made a behind-the-back pass that fell precisely into Nalissa's hands beneath the hoop. I nearly toppled over when watching the play. Having watched Clark from the start, I can confidently state that this was the most complete game I've ever seen her play in the WNBA. On the floor, she was essentially doing it all, scoring, passing the ball, and grabbing rebounds. It was an act for the annals of history. This is where things go insane, people. The Fever lost the game despite Clark's incredible effort. Yes, it's unbelievable to me as well. The Dallas Wings won 101-93 in the end. How could that be true? To gain a better understanding, let's take a look at the game numbers. A few things went smoothly for the Fever. They outscored the Wings 50-62 points in the paint, dominating the paint. Nor was Clark alone himself. Aliyah, with 28 points and 8 rebounds, Boston had an outstanding performance. Nalissa Smith pulled down 12 rebounds. Turnovers are the issue, though. The Wings took advantage of the Fever's 17 turnovers compared to the Wings' 10 and scored 28 points off those turnovers, while the Fever only managed 17. In a game that concluded with an 8-point differential, that represents an 11-point disparity. The bench was another factor. The Wings' bench scored 15 points, while the Fever's bench only managed to score 12. Though it might not seem like much, every point matters in a close game. You also can't disregard the defense. The Wings' offense was more reliable even with Clark's outstanding game management. In fast break points, they had the upper hand with 22 to the Fever's 14. A historic effort like Clark's ending in a defeat is upsetting, but it proves that basketball is a team sport. To win, the team as a whole must work together, regardless of how outstanding any one player is.
It was just our defense. Like, we gave up 28 points off turnovers. I think 20 of those were in the first half, and like, so that really kills you to start the game, and going to the rim, and like, AB was sailing really well. Like, offensively, we were able to get whatever we wanted all night, it felt like.
All of this leads us to the topic of Coach Christie sides. Hey, after this game, it's hard to stand up for her. Even with a player creating history on the court, how can you lose the match? There is no better time to be involved in the Olympics and the All-Star break. This is the ideal opportunity for the Fever's management to take a seat and carefully consider the team's future. I'm not the only one who thinks this either. The social media landscape is ablaze. It's understandable that fans are calling for changes. The issue is that sides cannot be held solely solely responsible for the defensive blunders or errors. However, she should be preparing the team to steer clear of these blunders, right? Above all, it is her responsibility to design a system that makes fuller use of Clark's extraordinary gift. I'm also perplexed as to why Clark played for the full 40 minutes. She played brilliantly, don't get me wrong, but that won't hold up over time. A system that allows other players to step up is essential for a team. I'm quite interested to see what takes on during this hiatus. Will the coaching staff alter, or will there be any roster transactions? There is no doubt about it. Something has to change quickly if the Fever are to have any chance this season. The thing that worries me the most is that even with Clark playing at this ridiculous level, these losses could lower the team's spirit, and we can't allow that to happen. Clark is a talent that will last a generation, and the Fever must do everything in their power to help her. Speaking of skill, let's discuss the Rookie of the Year honor. I fail to see how Caitlin Clark doesn't bring that award home after this game. Who the heck is going to be able to compete with her? Alright, I understand that a few people are bringing up Angel Reese. I'm not trying to undermine Reese. She's good, but let's be real. There is nothing like what Clark is doing. She's performing admirably, not only for a rookie, but for every player in the league. Furthermore, it goes beyond statistic. It's how she affects the game. The Fever has a whole different look thanks to Clark. Even though the squad isn't winning as much as we'd like, she makes them competitive in every game. Consistency is another important factor in choosing the Rookie of the Year, and Clark is excelling in this area as well. She didn't have a poor game in a long time. She contributes to the team's success even when she isn't making shots. She gets rebounds and plays every position, and let's revisit this 19 assist contest. As a rookie, she broke that record in WNBA history. Clark is smashing records that we had no idea existed.
Quite literally, as we already seen what she's done in the first half of the season, where she's just breaking records night in and night out.
Let me say this, I greatly like Angel Reese and the other rookies. Everybody is playing really well. But after this game, I realized that Caitlin deserves to be named Rookie of the Year. There's no conversation. We're watching the beginning of one of the best careers in WNBA history if she continues to play like this. The most absurd thing is that we are aware of her potential for improvement. Imagine a day when she is more seasoned in the league and is more familiar with the defenses. For Clark, the possibilities are endless, and I'm eager to see what he does next. But folks, despite all of the excitement around Clark, one issue remains unanswered. How long will the Fever continue to lose despite her playing at such an unbelievable level? This is really concerning me. There's still more. How long before the Fever's leadership makes a major decision? Will the coaching staff be changed mid-season, or will they wait until the end of the season to make adjustments? The thought of how these losses might affect Clark down the road is what worries me the most. She is enthusiastic and driven, despite being young and just starting her profession. However, what if this losing pattern doesn't end? Will she become irritated? Additionally, there is the fan base. Fans of the Fever are thrilled about Clark, but if the results are delayed, how long will their euphoria last? We are aware of the nature of sports.